Hey, LeGrandAlive.tv, this is Will Bowman, and this is Coffee with Will. This is brought to you by anythingtodigital.com. Today, I am here in the studio with Tom Hansen. How are you today, Tom?
I'm doing great. It's nice to be here.
Tom moved here from Colorado, and he is doing web design and website optimization here in town. He's done some for some local businesses. He's done a website for Bud Jackson's, and any other ones that you've done so far?
Well, the Anything to Digital.
Oh, that's right. Anything to Digital. He did the website for that.
That's a work in progress, right?
That's a work in progress. Yeah.
So, we've got
that's
going.
right. That I forgot. That's on my plate, actually.
So really, I'm here to find out what's in your coffee. That's what everybody, listens to
Well,
this
you know what's
for.
funny is actually I drink decaf. Like, that's the funny thing is generally, not today. Today I'm drinking regular because that's all I have. But generally when I do the show, I drink decaf. And people always do ask me, like, what's in your coffee? You're going crazy. I'm just energetic.
With that fan base I've heard about, that's the leading question I get is, what's in there.
What's in the coffee?
Anyway, but another good website that I've just started working on is Neighbors Together. And it's...
Oh, that's with the Wesleyan Church, right?
Zion.
The Zion Church, yeah.
Yeah, and they do the food bank and the woodlot, and I just wanted to help them out, and that's been really rewarding, and they're a fun group to work with. So yeah, I'm happy to get their word out for them and connect the dots a little bit. And that's kind of how it goes.
For those of you who don't know, Neighbors Together is actually the rebirthing of Neighbor to Neighbor, which was an organization that was here in town about 5 years ago. They had some organizational problems and they're reinventing themselves as Neighbors Together. So tell me, why did you come to LeGrand initially? What brought you here and why did you stick around?
Well, all my relatives in the Denver area moved away, and I came up here because I have an aunt and uncle and a cousin in Cove, and I just wanted to be closer to them, and it's just been great being around family again. So that's why I'm here. The great outdoors, I mean, I have more stuff running around my yard than I would see in Colorado in a whole year.
Including 2 chihuahuas, which
yeah.
are ferocious creatures in and of themselves.
Well, kids are kids,
Yeah.
Yeah, so just managing their lives is taken over mine, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Are you an outdoorsy person? Like, do you enjoy going out and enjoying the Eastern Oregon outdoors?
I love to hunt and fish, and should start in on fishing this year. That's one of my big plans, is to get going on that. Fortunately, you guys have kept me pretty busy, so we'll just see how that goes.
So you were once a construction worker for how many years?
Well, over 20 years in construction. My last 7 years I built custom home theaters and kitchens and bathrooms and things like that. So, yeah.
So now you've moved into the realm of web design, which we were talking about this earlier, about how it's interesting to me that web design is similar to construction in that you're creating something you're taking raw materials, you're putting it together and creating something which is aesthetically, good looking, but also functional. And you have to, and he also does you also do optimization, which is sort of making websites primed for being seen by search bots, Google, and that's kind of the world that we live in, is the world of Google and the world of Yahoo and all these really interesting sort of like internet, like they're people like that you have to sort of do that. So how do you see construction and web design being similar but being different?
The biggest thing is connecting the dots for the people. So if you're working on somebody's home, you have to find out what they're after, how they want to live in that space. And then when you're looking at someone's business, you have to ask them the right questions to get their personality into the page. And when you connect the dots between the website, Facebook, and Google search, that's just the first step. the end result is the best website wins, because as soon as you hand your business card to somebody and then you leave, they check you out on the web.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's very true.
9 times out of 10, the best website is the one. And if, you know, a lot of my work now is makeovers and just making sites faster for people so that they show up quicker in search and all that. They work on mobile phones.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's been interesting working with you in the level of like, there's so much that goes into website design that we don't even think about. It's like advertising, you know, like there's so much to it that goes into it, which you don't even think about. Like you don't even think about the fact that this picture is so big that it's going to increase your page's load time to where Google is going to penalize you and put you farther down on the search result. You don't think about the fact that when you go onto your page, you don't want to have any load times which are longer than like, you know, a couple like milliseconds, because then people are going to get bored, because we have the attention spans of goldfish with, you know, ADHD in our culture, you know, like, but all of these things go into designing a website.
Yeah, what's interesting is how much you've paid attention over the last couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right. One of the best websites in the world is Amazon, and you can interact within 2.9 seconds. So that means you can start working with it. And Google really takes a look at that, and that's important, you know. And yeah. So that's basically it in a nutshell, is make it visible, make it quick, and make it beautiful, and say something about the people that are doing it.
So Wingman Digital, your business, what are you going to be trying to do with it here in the Grand, here in the Valley? What services are you offering, and like what are you trying to do? How are you investing in this community?
Well, one of the things that I looked for in town was that rock business that everybody was familiar with and that would be able to see my work. And that's why I really reached out to Bud Jackson's. And working with Bud and Brenda was just incredible. They're so enthusiastic, and they have such a good product. They have the best slogan I've ever heard in my life for food. And it's, we don't do fast food, we do fresh food as fast as we can.
Huh.
And for bar food, it's just amazing. And getting to know them, hanging around the cooks and seeing how they go about what they do it's just an art. And they're so committed to the community, and that's just what I want to be. And I want to help people connect. So
Absolutely. Well, this is Tom Hansen. He has Wingman Digital. Be sure to check out Bud Jackson's website. That's to see an example of what he's doing here in town. Thanks for coming in and chatting with me, Tom. And you have anything else you want to add before?
No, thanks for the opportunity. I just love working with you guys down here, and it's been a lot of fun. So look forward to it.
Secret's decaf.
Okay, I'll remember
It's
that.
the secret to my longevity in life, in my ebullience decaf coffee.
All right.
Thanks, LeGrand Alive. This Coffee with Will is brought to you by anythingtodigital.com. Tune in later on this week for another news roundup and more local content.